Maybe I am insane, and maybe it's time for you to find out how insane I am, yeah! Right now, yeah!
Welcome back.
Welcome back, maggots.
So, this week of Sergeant Slaughter is sponsored to you by Payback.
By a fat zombie, everybody.
Oh, yes. So, we're just gonna get into this. Payback happened this week.
Yes, and much
expectedness, I think is the word.
Much predictability ensued. Not bad predictability, I have to emphasize, but still, aside from, that one thing.
Yes. So, Payback opened with what? The whole Hornswoggle and El Torito thing? Just for clarification, I did not watch it. Redbeard did. He's got the network. I do not yet. So.
Yep, I'm a dumbass. I supported the network just because I wanted to see WrestleMania for $10. Now I'm locked into a contract. This really is like dealing with the WWE.
Well, at least for, $60? It's $10 for 6 months, right? Or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's not bad considering you'll get 6 pay-per-views and have access to, an entire library of shit.
Yeah, it's like Netflix, but for wrestling.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to plug it here, but it really is a good thing for, 6 months. It's not bad.
Oh, I'll actually recommend it. If anybody's listening to this and they're on the fence, I say, dude, spend the $10.
Okay. And then,
just if you're an ECW fan, don't watch the ECW shit because it's been edited to death.
Oh. So, again, the pay-per-view opened up with Torito and Hornswoggle. I'm going to assume it was just the opener for no reason. No reason to the match.
And they made it a mask versus hair match. And that just made it even more predictable because nobody, and I mean nobody, thought they were gonna unmask El Torito.
After what, 2 months?
Well, he's over. The fans like him.
Oh, okay.
And they like that he's a little bull, so.
They're down with the whole ole.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're down with the ole.
So, that match was, again, predictable.
Yeah, Torito kicks ass. I mean, really, for a little guy, he's like a fucking hell of an athlete, but Hornswoggle has sucked dick for over 10 years. Cause he's just exactly dick hot.
So, again, completely forgettable thing. What was next? Was it the Brian and Bree Stephanie?
No, that happened later on in the night.
Okay.
Folks, I'm sorry if my sequences are all out of whack because I just don't have a good memory for stuff like this. So, but I remember the low point being Bad News Barrett versus Rob Van Dam. I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I have not been a fan of Wade Barrett for a very long time, but I like Bad News. I think it's funny.
I would have appreciated if they did more of what he did that one night when he was out on the podium and it was Brodus Clay versus somebody, I don't care, and he just trash-talked them the entire match, talking about how bad they sucked. If he did more of that, I would be way more behind him.
And the Bullhammer still sucks. It's better than Wasteland, but it still sucks.
Just use the Winds of Change. Just use the Bossman Slam. Come on.
Yeah, sure. He's a big guy. He's a big, powerful guy. It makes sense.
It's better than, the Bullhammer could be a setup move, or, just a desperation, out of nowhere move.
The Bullhammer is still better than the Wasteland because at least a running forearm could knock somebody out.
True. So, what about, let's see, I know we had the Rhodes Brothers versus Rybaxel.
Once again, just what you would expect, a fairly solid match from some pretty decent workers.
So again, nothing memorable, but
nothing memorable. I mean, it's I love Cody. I hope Cody starts getting a bigger push. as time goes on. I mean, once they finally break up the Rhodes brothers. I mean, the Rhodes brothers have really just lost the spark they had last year. Like, this time last year, like, the Rhodes brothers were amazing, and now they're just another team, and that hurts.
And then we had, let's see, who else went out at the pay-per-view? We had Sheamus and Cesaro.
Fucking badass hoss fight.
Just two guys slugging it out?
Yeah, and I've been a fan of Cesaro since like 2003 or something.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's really hard for me to not just fucking freak out for that guy just to see how good he's doing and how, like, pretty much nobody believed that, you know, independent darling Claudio Castagnoli was gonna be so huge as he is now. And I mean, and it looks like they might actually put the strap on him at some point.
I think they'll work him. He'll beat Sheamus the next time around, I believe. I think they'll go with that.
Yeah.
And then, maybe from there, bigger and better things.
Yeah, perhaps a feud with Brock Lesnar, I've heard, you know, on the rumor websites, which I think would be fucking awesome.
That would be good for Cesaro. It really would. As much as I hate Lesnar, you know, the guy beat Undertaker's streak, so at least in terms of kayfabe,
yeah,
it would be really good for Cesaro.
As much as I didn't like the Undertaker match, I mean, I will agree that, I mean, you're gonna find a harder guy better than Lesnar to break the streak.
Yeah.
And at least Heyman is selling it with every bit of his life every time he appears. So
I wouldn't be so much, you know, like, meh about it if Lesnar had actually shown up since then. Like, he needs to come back to do something. You know, otherwise it just looks like, hey, I beat the Taker streak, and then just left.
Win! Bye!
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that has to do with his contract.
Cause he's only so many appearances, I know.
Yeah, so many appearances.
And then it's like probably $30,000 per appearance he shows.
Maybe if they, like, sold it like that Lesnar was so beat up that breaking the streak put him out.
That would work. Like, Taker beat the shit out of him so bad that it was just, a near victory for Lesnar. Yeah, but
it really wasn't like that, but
yeah, but creative isn't that creative. So, and then
or maybe when they are, Vince just flips out and goes, "This didn't put Triple H over. Throw it out."
Speaking of the McMahons, the Stephanie bit with Brie, by now, you know, we had her do the whole, I'm not letting him give up the title, fuck you, I quit kind of thing.
Totally expected. Like, I fucking called that on Monday when they said, oh, it's your title versus Brie's job. And I said, okay, Brie's gonna quit.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. One, Brie's been talking about having the baby fever. Apparently she just she doesn't want to retire, she just wants to conceive a child. With Daniel Bryan, she wants to have a little goat baby.
Surprisingly enough, what's a baby goat called? A kid.
Zing! She wants to have Goat Boy's kid.
Oh.
So, like, I called that out. I totally saw that that's what they were doing. Like I said last week, Stephanie McMahon is just such a great passive-aggressive heel.
I just saw in the, Botchamania, they were started chanting CM Punk, and then Brian just kinda got that.
It just got frozen in the headlights.
And then Stephanie pulled it out by saying that, see, these people want you to quit just like CM Punk did. And I was like, wow, they actually mentioned Punk. Good save.
She saved it. Good job.
Yes, that was an awesome save. Good one.
What I thought would have been a better storyline, how I think it could have been better.
If you will.
If you will. If the American Dream, Dr. Rhodes, turned out to be the father of Brie Bella's baby.
So what would you have done?
And then that kid would be even weirder than the current weird kids he has.
So what would you have done differently for that then?
I would have had, I know she's not really pregnant right now, but we could lie, it's wrestling.
Yeah, I mean,
I would have her say she's already pregnant. As as most people know, that it is illegal in the United States to fire a pregnant woman under your employ. So I would just churn the tables just a little bit, like to just have like that one person that Stephanie cannot legally fire.
And that could talk trash and, stand up to her for Brian.
Just to irritate the fuck out of her. And and then, obviously I'm just like WWE creative. I have a great beginning but I have absolutely no idea how I want to end this.
It could end in a Brie heel turn.
It could, I don't know. I don't think people would want to see, a pregnant woman turn on her husband.
Swerve, she was never really pregnant. She lied to Brian.
And the baby's really Dusty Rhodes. No, not Dusty Rhodes' kid. It's really Dusty Rhodes. She's giving birth
to the American
reincarnation of the American dream.
Even though he's still alive, he's being reincarnated.
I've seen dumber wrestling angles. She could give birth to a hand,
I was about to say the exact same thing. Remember Mae Young's pregnancy angle?
Oh my god.
I was about to go into the main event of Payback, but then I forgot that we had Superhero Cena versus Lex Luthor Bray Wyatt.
Great match. The storytelling doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just like Cena's already beaten all three of these guys by himself. And why does he need the Usos now?
Yeah, and so it turned into like a big 6-man schmoz type thing, I think, from what I gather. And how did he beat Bray? This is like the thing I didn't understand exactly. It's like we had, a bunch of schmoz happening and, tables were put out and...
Okay, he chucked the steps at him.
Right.
Okay, how the hell that did not kill Bray, I'll never know.
Because he's not human, man.
They can't hurt you, man. You're not human. And then he attitude adjusted him into a crate that was down by the stage. And then he put another crate on top of the crate, and he stood on top of the crate. So, there's our great hero, everybody, a fat, stinking cheater.
That reminds me so much of the bullshit ending of when he went against Big Show in the Last Man Standing match, when he just duct taped his foot to the ring post.
Yeah, they're like, John Cena's never lost the Last Man Standing match and all this shit, and it's just like, Super Cena, hustle, loyalty, respect, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, listen to your parents, don't cheat on your homework, don't bully people, and then he uses every underhanded tactic known to man to win these Last Man Standing matches.
I mean, I somewhat get it. You don't want to make Bray look weak and, whatever. But that just makes him look dumb. Just have a solid ending. Have Bray cheat to beat Cena. I mean...
Well, if this was going to be the ending of the feud, then yes, Cena should have won. But he should not have won at WrestleMania, and he should not have won at... What was the last fucking pay-per-view? I forget him all the time.
Bray won the last one, didn't he? It was the cage match.
Oh yeah. Yes, but he won that after all three of them were very well and easily defeated by Cena.
Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't a bullshit ending. I'm just saying.
It took a little kid with a fucking synthesizer voice. And he's just like, oh, what? And then Wyatt just waltzes out, like, wait, what am I supposed to do? What, I don't know, that kid's looking pretty fucking creepy. Did he make a wish for this?
Another thing too, I saw at the pay-per-view, one of the, big bumps of the night is Cena took Sister Abigail to the outside, like, on the floor.
That was pretty sick. And, it was a good match, just,
And he still got up. Like, you took Bray's finisher on the outside and you still beat the count?
Cena wins, LOL.
And then, of course, now with the main event of Payback, the Shield versus Evolution, which I heard was...
Oh, wait, no, you skipped a match.
I did?
You did.
Which match did I skip?
You skipped Bo Dallas versus Kofi Kingston, silly.
I forgot. I didn't even know that was on the pay-per-view. I am sorry. So
it was fantastic because for whatever reason, Kane just came out and tombstoned the shit out of Kofi, and Bo pinned him, and then he just like.
Did he do the victory
got
lap?
on the mic and he was just like going, "I'm sorry this happened to you, Kofi, but don't let this make you think that you're a loser. You just need to believe." And then the audience started chanting that they believe.
I'm getting behind Bo, I really admit. I at first I didn't know what to think of him, but now that he's like, we're gonna fast forward a little bit here to Monday when he took on Santino and he beat Santino. And he told Santino's girlfriend out there, he's like, don't think of him as a loser. He did his best. And as long as you do your best, you're a winner in life. You just have to believe. And then he does the victory lap. I love that.
He is like early Kurt Angle driven to the extreme.
Yeah.
Like wrestling has done like the overly positive motivational speaker character as a heel, plenty of times before, but Bo is just so unique and just so charismatic that it works for him.
And it doesn't hurt to have like JBL just fucking singing your praises the entire time.
This brainwashed dogmatic just...
Yeah, he's like, this man's an inspiration. We need more men like him. Michael, you gotta believe.
Constantly.
Okay, you gotta believe.
Constantly. Let me see. Paige was given the fucking death sentence. I mean,
I forgot Paige versus, Alicia Fox.
Yeah, those poor ladies are like, here, you need to go on between the Shield and the Wyatt Cena match. Fuck!
You are the piss break match. Congratulations.
Which sucks because they put on a really solid match. Those two have really good chemistry and I've become big fans of them very quickly. But once again, it was just everything you expected. This is like everything we expected. We were like, oh yeah, well those two will put on a good match. Well, those two will put on a good match. Well, those two will put on a good match. There's nothing wrong with this pay-per-view. And I think that really speaks about what's wrong with WWE in the last several years. It's not that the pay-per-views are bad. It's not that the shows are bad. It's just that there's not that many interesting surprises going on in them. And when there are surprises, they fucking suck!
And before we get into the big surprise of the week, the Shield versus Evolution.
Fucking fantastic match.
I heard it was a clean sweep?
Yes. People see clean sweep on it, but they don't understand that the Shield were underdogs for pretty much the entire match.
I saw some highlights and stuff, and it looks like they had the shit kicked out of them for a good little while.
Yeah, there was like, I lost track of time watching it, because I pretty much just, suspended my disbelief and just was in that match as it was occurring.
Right.
But it felt like a solid 10 minutes where they got zero offense in. And it was, and then, of course, fucking Rollins is insane.
Did he take a big bump, I guess?
Oh, he did a dive off the set.
Uh-huh.
Almost overshot him, too. It was scary.
Ooh. Oh, okay. So he took the big bump of the night.
Yeah, he took many of the big bumps of the night.
Okay.
And then it looked like, all hope was lost, like Ambrose and Reigns were all fucking dead as shit in the ring, and then they were going, I think they were going for a pedigree, and that's when Rollins flew in with that flying knee drop to the back of the head that he does.
Oh yeah.
And that was how they turned it, and that was, one thing led to another, and Reigns speared Batista, and Ambrose, I'm so used to calling him John Moxley. Hit his finisher, and then it was like that was it. They got everybody pinned within 5 minutes.
Okay, so from what I gathered from the recaps, we had, Batista knocked out, it looks like Rollins or, Ambrose, I'm not sure which one. And then, Reigns came out of nowhere and speared him, eliminated Batista, and then Batista speared Reigns. And then it looks like Orton came in, and then Ambrose caught Orton, and then hit his finisher.
Yeah.
And then Orton hit Ambrose with a chair. And
they basically just made it look like no matter what, like the Evolution was just gonna cheat to win.
Okay, and then I guess how'd they finish Triple H? Was it just the triple powerbomb?
How did they? No, they didn't have the power. They didn't have the strength to do it. What the fuck did they do?
Was it just a spear, or?
I think it was just a spear.
Okay. It's a little anticlimactic, but, hey, clean sweep for the Shield.
They were just selling that they were so dead.
Right, that they couldn't lift Triple H up for the powerbomb. Okay. That's fair enough. So, I heard nothing but good things about the match from, the online stuff.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, so much happened in it that I got sensory overload and I can't remember a lot of the specific spots and things that happened. And the match, I can't do the match justice. You should watch it.
It was definitely, well, again, we've said this before, I don't think we can really recall a bad match that the Shield was in.
No. I can barely recall a mediocre one.
Yeah, they usually put on a performance whenever they're there, and that's one reason I think they were so over is, and one of my favorite reasons that they were one of my favorite heel teams for a while, they were winning clean. Like, no cheating, no schmozzing, just straight up domination. And I believed in the Shield to be, the unstoppable force.
They were almost, you believed in the Shield. They were almost like a cross between the Freebirds and the Road Warriors in a strange way. In that there was the three of them, and that all three of them were clearly very different from each other. But there was also just that Road Warriors element of who the fuck can stop these guys. And they just steamrolled everybody.
Yeah, and again, it was, they had the things like when they looked like they may lose, they would get disqualified for whatever reason, because, oh no, the teammates broke up the pin, disqualify them. Yeah. That was like the most common disqualification for the Shield, and that was the biggest, what? Because, they'd break up the pin, brawl a little bit, and the referee's like, oh no, throw out the match, it's over, GQ.
These guys gotta lose sometime, damn it.
Yeah. And then, most of their matches, especially on just the week in, week outs, they would just clean sweep, clean victory, no bullshit. And even as faces, they are still doing, really well.
Which is why we need to make it to Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
Discuss the one thing that was really genuinely memorable.
So on Raw, we had the typical recap BS stuff. Blue Tista had quit again.
Blue Tista's fucking fantastic.
Him and his Mega Man attire in the,
Sonic the Hedgehog!
Oh, I take it you watched it too?
Oh yes. I watched it right before this call.
Same here. So, Blue Tista had quit. Which I'm loving all the different names that people are coming up with them. Boo Tista, Blue Tista, we have Bortista.
Bortista.
Can we call him the Blue Bomber now? Cause he does a power bomb?
Well, cause he's blue and he bombs at matches.
That works too.
So we had the blue bumper.
So we had Evolution come out, and Batista was doing his whole, I want my title shot, I'm done getting my ass kicked by the Shield, blah, 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 blah. And then basically, it's like Batista all over again. I want my title match, give me my title, I want my title. Can I have my title? Hey, Triple H, just like you did, can I have my title? Triple H told him no, and then he quit.
Yeah, but Triple H was fucking golden, and he was like, Dave, you get back here! You can't quit on me! Fine, I didn't want you anyway!
Go back to Hollywood!
Yeah, that was just fabulous to me.
Oh man. And then some, just the basic rematches or tag teams and stuff like
Adam
that.
Rose continued to fail to get over. I didn't stop believing. Paige is a pretty hot Brit. Let me see. Alicia Fox freaked out about something, I think.
No, funny note, Paige is like the only person paler than Sheamus, I believe.
Let's just hope they don't get married and have kids. That
kid's gonna be a glowing beacon of white.
I think we found out what caused the World Trade Center attack.
Oh.
They were gonna fly those kids to the Bahamas, That was an act of peace. They were gonna hijack the plane, fly to the Bahamas, get some champagne and some fruit drinks. They were gonna, just, talk their feelings out, and then they just couldn't see anything. And now we found out it was the future in front of their eyes of a child so pale that all light ceased to exist around it.
Oh, that is awesome and horrible at the same time. I love it.
And they were just like, okay, everybody, Operation Al-Qaeda US peace, boom, right into the fucking towers.
Oh my god, there's no way in hell they're gonna. So, yeah, there's that.
Where were you?
Where were you?
Where
Sheamus
were you?
Page, and they had that albino baby
that caused the World Trade Center attack.
Let's lynch the baby.
Oh, jingoism.
So yeah, we had the typical rematches and recaps and all that bullshit, and then it looked like it was going to be Roman Reigns versus Orton, and then. What happened?
Dun dun dun! Yes, folks, the share shot heard round the world. Seth Rollins turns on the Shield, effectively ending the Shield as we know them, and that fucking breaks my heart. Now, my favorite part of that show was the one fan in the front row that made Black Nerd at the streak being broken. Made him look like Perry Saturn by comparison when he was just going, "Why, Seth? Why?"
If only we could have had somebody jump over the guardrail, fall to their knees, and just, arms up.
Why did you do it? You maniac! You blew it up!
And then drop down, dramatically pounding his fist on the ground.
You blew it all up!
Damn you all to hell!
I didn't know Charlton Heston was a wrestling fan and a zombie.
So, yeah, Seth turned on Shield. Dude, he beat the fuck out of Ambrose with that chair.
His back was so bruised up.
I mean, yeah, he hit Reigns a few times, but he beat the shit out of Ambrose. I don't know why, but...
I think I know why. Well, Ambrose has been his canon for earlier in the year when we were having the dissension in the ranks of the Shield. It was always Ambrose who was starting shit, and I think like how it goes is that Ambrose, caused a dissension, and I think, Rollins, if you watch his old promos, it was always about being the elite group in wrestling to him. But then after the face turn, Ambrose and Reigns were all about brotherhood.
So you think that's what it's going to be the reasoning behind it, or?
That's what I think would make a good story. I mean, obviously we're waiting for the fucking promos to happen.
Let's see, the Shield returns on Raw, so maybe we'll get something happening there.
So obviously the Shield isn't officially broken up yet.
Yeah, they're just one man down.
Yeah.
That's what it's coming down to. And, and then Orton came in, stripped down Reigns for some reason.
Yeah, you notice he had to have him shirtless before he could pin him.
He needed that man chest to be exposed so that he could RKO him.
Impact. of the RKO.
Yeah.
That Randall Keith Orton, he is a strange fella.
Man, Bob Orton is a weird kid. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I could really recall happening on Raw is, just the recaps, rematches, and, I know we had, like, Cesaro walk out on Barrett, and, you know, I think maybe they'll start somewhat of a feud between those two, or at least a couple of matches maybe. I don't know where they're going with that, because they also continued it on Tuesday's main event and SmackDown. So, I don't know.
I kind of sense that the IC and US belts are going to be the next to be united.
It would make sense. I mean, you know, really what's the difference between the US and the Intercontinental is they're both meh titles anyway.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Creative has proven that having more titles does not give them more options for creativity.
Yeah. Like, especially since they dissolved the SmackDown and Raw brands type thing, there's really no need to keep.
And with the world titles unified finally, and I'm gonna argue against anybody who says that they should be split up again.
Why? So that we could have 3 guys on SmackDown going for it, or 3 guys on Raw going for that one?
Yeah, and
yeah, it was nice to see, you know.
And also, what's the point of being the world champion or the champion of a company if what's the point of being the best if there's some other guy who can also say he's the best? One is gonna wind up looking better than the other.
And whoever's got whatever title Cena has is the one that's gonna look better.
Yeah. Well, the big gold belt, we all know that's left over from the WCW era.
Yeah, the world title is the WCW title.
Yeah, it's not like they're never gonna say, well, this belt is truly superior to the WWE belt. They did, exactly. They did that back at the beginning of the brand extension where they had the WWE belt on SmackDown because I guess they felt like SmackDown was gonna be their A show.
Yeah, oh boy, sure.
And then we all saw how that happened. They're like, John Cena is gonna be on Raw from now on and Batista is gonna be on SmackDown where he can't hurt anybody.
And then he ended Edge's career.
Well, I was just talking about, like, you know, hurting anybody's ratings or bottom line.
Oh, okay.
You know? They didn't give a shit about Edge's neck. Fuck him. Canadian bastard. They're the nicest people in the world. I hate them.
And now he's spearing campers up in the mountains.
Don't litter. Don't litter on Edge's mountaintop. He'll get you.
You're gonna be sitting there, you kick out, you know, you leave a little bit of smoldering left in that fire of yours, and all of a sudden you're gonna hear this chant of spear, 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 and it's just Edge running through the forest chanting spear right before he hits you.
He's the Boogie Edge and he's gonna spear you.
And then he's gonna educate you.
I'm gonna educate you on the harms of smoking in the woods. Remember,
only you can prevent my foot in your ass. So,
what's Hulk Hogan doing these days? Maybe we can tell him that only you can prevent forest fire, brother.
Or Hulk Hogan wants you.
Total inside joke. Nobody is gonna get that, but I don't give a shit. You!
Oh man, taking it back. SmackDown, what, 3?
5, I think.
Okay. It was one of the PS2 era ones. I know that.
well, when we had Hollywood Nova as a created character, and we gave him every single Hulk Hoganism we could think of him. It's better than being Simon Dean.
Oh man. It could be worse. It could be, Dean Douglas.
Ooh.
Or you could be the Rocker Douglas. Cause he replaced, Sean for house shows when the Rockers.
Oh my god, you remember that. Oh.
Hey, I've been watching a lot of old school wrestling stuff.
How about the new Rockers? Leaf Cassidy.
I don't know them.
The New Rockers was Marty Jannetty and Al Snow under the pseudonym of Leif Cassidy.
Okay.
Everything good about the Rockers was completely erased.
So the decent work ethic and,
Yes, they didn't even have good matches. And Marty Jannetty, folks, I love Marty Jannetty and Al Snow.
I can't say I'm a huge Marty Jannetty fan, but I do love me some Al Snow.
Well, yeah. Well, I love Marty, and I always remember the poster on my sister's wall. She had a Rockers poster when she was little. She hated Shawn Michaels. She hated him. So she had a poster of Kerry Von Erich or somebody, posted over Shawn Michaels' face.
So she had the Texas tornado covering Shawn Michaels?
Yes, and Marty Jannetty, because she loved Marty Jannetty so much. And
oh man. I think really what killed Marty is that he got fired or left for 3 different occasions, I think.
He was a druggie.
Yeah, and that ultimately is what cost him.
He was a partier, he was a drunk, he was a druggie. I mean, originally they were planning, they said, okay, Jannetty's the guy, who we're gonna push after this. They didn't care for Shawn that much.
Well, if you look at the matches, Jannetty there forever was the better worker. He was the more talented one of the two.
He was more of the Ricky, well, I don't know, they kind of went back. I think that what worked for him was they both kind of went back and forth. One of them would be the Ricky Morton one match, and the other one would be, where your job is to just get your ass kicked and just try to sell making the tag to the other guy. That's the rock.
Do the hot tag.
Yeah, that's the Rock and Roll Express method. They did that for years, where all you did was you got your ass kicked, but oh my goodness, if Ricky Morton can just make the tag to Robert Gibson, then they're gonna win the match and the championship, and the fans can go home happy, and the world will be safe for democracy again. Just where were you when Ricky Morton tagged to Robert Gibson?
Where were you when Ricky Morton?
Where were you?
We should just turn that Soldier Boy song. Where were you? Let's just turn that Soldier Boy song into that. Where were you when Ricky Morton?
Make a remix of Toby Keith and Soldier Boy.
Bing, boom, bing. Where were you?
Where were you on 9/11?
Oh man,
that is
fantastic.
That is some walk hard shit.
Walk hard.
Fucking love that movie.
Ricky, no, what was it? This is cocaine. You don't want none of this shit. Well, actually, I think I do.
And then when he's playing Walk Hard on punk chords, is this what you want to do? Screaming and playing your music loud and fast like a punk?
Yeah, I love that. It's are they saying he created punk music?
What's great is he's doing his Iggy Pop impression while he's doing that. So, I mean, Iggy is the uncredited creator of punk rock. So, yeah, that is what they're saying.
Let's see, if anybody hasn't seen that movie, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story is fucking awesome. I like that movie.
It's a fucking great movie.
It's got, John C. Reilly in it. Yeah, John C. Reilly.
Love John C. Reilly.
Yeah. So, watch that movie. It's a funny little parody of / homage, I guess.
Basically all the obnoxious rock star biopic, every biopic of a musician the last 30 years.
Yeah. So.
And that, and this really has a lot to do with wrestling. Because.
So yeah, we're getting back off topic here. So, again, we had the big swerve, and then came SmackDown.
Where Seth Rollins said, only I know what I did, why I did it.
I knew there was no way in hell they were going to blow their load that early with the
On
storyline.
SmackDown, they weren't going to give that shit to SmackDown. They're like, no, we were going to wait until Raw when people were actually watching.
Yeah, we'll wait till the other two Shields come out and then, confront him and stuff like that.
It's just like, WCW, they're gonna have David Arquette in a World Championship match, except instead of him winning the match, he's gonna already beat champion. It's gonna be an exploding barbed wire cage match, but we're gonna have it on Thunder so nobody sees it.
Oh man. So again, we're gonna get a little more off topic here. I recently watched, the Thunder when Arquette won the title, and then the Slamboree or whatever it was. Was it Slamboree or Spring Stampede?
That had the Triple K, I think. It was Spring Stampede.
Okay, then yeah, it was Slamboree, where Arquette defended the title, I guess. If that's what you want to call what he did.
That poor man.
I mean, I used to hate Arquette for that, but at least I learned eventually that it wasn't his idea.
Yeah, he wasn't on the booking committee.
And he was actually completely against it.
K-bomb there, by the way. I used to love it when Sergeant Slaughter used to do the 2K bomb, the move that didn't get invented until, several years after he quit active competition.
I don't know, my favorite name for it is still the Snowplow. That's
not a Snowplow, though.
I thought it was.
That's a 2K bomb.
Oh, I thought it was the Snowplow.
Snowplow is a high crotch pickup, like a body slam, just tilted to the side.
Oh, okay, and you don't hook the leg like that. Okay.
Yeah, like the way he hooked it at the thigh and then, that. That's a 2K bomb.
Okay. Speaking of moves that I didn't realize were awesome and stuff like that, Tonka Michinoku still has like one of the greatest Michinoku drivers. The way he hit that thing was fucking awesome. I just recently watched a match with him.
Yeah, that move that he invented.
Yeah, but it's...
Well, hey, that's a compliment,
I love the Michinoku driver.
How many people hit a DDT, but only Jake Roberts can hit the DDT?
Exactly. And the DDT, this is one of my favorite fucking moves of all time.
I just hate that it's a transitional move now. Like it shouldn't be a a DDT should at least be a momentum shift at the very minimum.
Like, you're getting your ass kicked, all of a sudden, you spin around, catch a DDT, and then you both laid out for several seconds.
And if you can do a fucking tornado DDT, or a swinging DDT, or all the tons of cool variations that the cruiserweights can do, and that's as much as I love the cruiserweights, I fucking hate it when they do that!
My favorite DDT is always just a move, that the cruiserweights do. It's the leap off the top rope, and then tornado DDT while they're standing in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
I love that variation, and it's never a match ender.
Yes! Except for, Jody Fleisch, who used a variation of that as a finisher.
Didn't Chavo Guerrero use the tornado DDT too?
He used any variation of the swinging DDT. He did the swinging DDT off the turnbuckles. He would also do a springboard. He'd also do a vault off the middle rope. I mean, he had a lot of different ways he could hit that move.
Okay, but tornado DDT, just multiple variations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I like. I like moves that you can hit in various situations. It makes the move seem more dangerous. It gives a sense that the match can end at any time.
Reason why I think the Diamond Cutter is a really good finisher.
Not the RKO, the Diamond Cutter.
Yes, the Diamond Cutter.
Start calling it the Diamond Cutter. I mean, I'm not the biggest DDP fan in the world.
But he invented the damn move.
But he invented the damn move. It's a great move. Okay? It's a great move. Just call it the Diamond Cutter. I hate that people call it the Cutter now.
Yeah.
It looks like he was going for a variation of the Cutter. They just call, I know he didn't invent it, it's actually an ace crusher, and nobody wants to give John Laurinaitis credit for anything, but it's Stone Cold Stunner. It's okay to call it a Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can address that other wrestlers are good.
Yes. And speaking of the Diamond Cutter and stuff, this game, the RKO is just a leaping Diamond Cutter. It's an actual Diamond Cutter.
Good. Because the RKO sucks.
It's not just a grabbing one hand. He grabs you and then puts his hand on the back of your head and then jumps.
Good.
So it's an actual
the one arm thing.
it doesn't seem like it has the same impact.
It doesn't look like he's really holding on to you for it, so.
Yeah, at least the diamond cutter, you're holding the back of their head, so it looks like you forced their throat over your forearm.
Yeah.
It's
actually a collegiate wrestling hold. That is the three-quarter Nelson. That's,
yes.
So it has a legitimate wrestling background to it. I mean, it's.
Yeah, and I hate how they're always like, Orton can pull that move off from any variation, and it's just always somebody jumping at him.
It's always somebody jumping at him, or he's sneaking up on somebody.
Yeah, like DDP used to at least put people up in like the firemen's and to do like the TKO style diamond cutter.
Yeah, Mark Marrow stole that, and then and then before it had a name, everybody called the F5 at TKO, and I went, it's not even a diamond cutter! and then after Brock Lesnar got huge, people started using the TKO because it's a cool move, and they started calling it an F5!
It's like, I actually kind of like the F5 and I like the TKO both, but they're completely fucking different.
I liked White Trash Johnny Webb's F5 better.
How did he hit his?
The welfare check, he would pick you up and he would actually land an actual DDT.
That's right. Yeah. I love that name too, the welfare check.
I love White Trash Johnny Webb, even if he was in XPW.
Yeah, I liked Messiah's Godsmack.
I liked a lot of things involving XPW, I just hated XPW.
Supreme!
Well, okay, yeah, like I said, a lot of things involving XPW.
Man, we had some great times watching Supreme matches.
Like that guy, like there are people in backyards watching that going, well, I can do better than that.
He's just some fat guy who has like one of the worst toad splashes. And that's all it is, folks. It's a fucking toad splash. I wouldn't even call that a frog splash.
It doesn't count as a frog splash if you don't do that froggy thing.
If you don't put your hands between your legs, or at least scrunch up and, he just kind of...
The only reason it qualified as a toad splash was because he couldn't get his legs out from under. He did a splash the same way the Puma Man flew. In fact, that would be an excellent YouTube video if we just had Supreme flying off the turnbuckle in slow motion with the Puma Man theme song. Just
So, yeah. So, where were we?
Oh no, that's it. That's where we were.
Where were we?
Seth Rollins is awesome. Seth Rollins is awesome. Wrestling is I'm actually interested to watch Raw.
Speaking of Rollins, I thought him and Ziggler had a great match. I thought it was especially for SmackDown, I thought it was a really good match.
Did not watch SmackDown, folks, because I have a life.
I watched it last night because I needed to stay awake because I got to work tonight.
I had pornography to watch. I didn't have time.
Oh, well, fair
SmackDown.
enough. We had it started, the whole night kicked off with Rollins and Ziggler, and I was like, well, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, take that, Hogan. You just got 2K bombed by one of the worst WWF champions ever. That wasn't Slaughter's fault. I love Sarge, but man, that was a terrible title run.
Do you remember when Sergeant Slaughter was a commie?
That's exactly what I'm referring to.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
He wasn't a commie, he was an Iraqi sympathizer.
That's, yeah.
They changed the Iron Sheik's name to Colonel Mustafa. And yet still he make humble with 10-inch cock.
Love Sheik. And he had still one of the best camo clutches ever.
No wonder he got horny afterwards, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was just thrusting your head into his crotch.
Make you humble.
With 10-inch cock.
10-inch cock.
Spread your butt cheeks.
Greatest YouTube reply ever. That chick was pretty hot too.
What, the one I wish Iron Sheik would make me humble?
Yes. I'll let the Iron Sheik humble my ass. 10-inch cock.
Fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit, he didn't get that chick.
Yeah.
His daughter got murdered and his wife left him.
Oh.
it sucks to be the Sheik. How long is this match gonna go on, Rando? I mean, seriously, you can't get out of a cage with Hulk fucking Hogan? His legs don't work.
Dude, the cage matches are, kind of a bitch because they don't stay down as long as they should.
I don't think there's any wrestling game that effectively gets the cage match.
It's either they stay down after you hit a finisher long enough for you just to climb out, or they don't stay down long enough. That's it.
That seems to be the play. Even my beloved Fire Pro Wrestling series, I hate the cage matches in that game.
Yeah. And there I unlocked the Cobra Clutch and Sergeant Slaughter's entrance.
Because, he's always been known for having such an incredible entrance.
That was his entire intro for a while. It's just a drum roll. And then...
there was also audio clips of him going...
Hey, still, Sergeant Slaughter's the only WWF guy who ever became a G.I. Joe. Making him, about 90% more awesome than most other wrestlers. I hated G.I. Joe as a kid, so... Hogan never became a G.I. Joe.
Never became a Ninja Turtles character either, but you know who did? Kevin Nash.
What? Nash is a Turtles character?
Look up the credits to The Secret of the Ooze and see who plays the Super Shredder.
That's right! He was Super Shredder. I heard that rumor, but I didn't know it was fucking true.
It's on the IMDb.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin Nash. More cool than Hulk Hogan.
Well, he is Big Daddy cool.
Big Daddy lazy.
Especially now he's Big Daddy broken legs.
Yeah. You ever seen him, without his big trucker pants on? Oh my god, he has skinnier legs than me.
So he's like Buff Bagwell.
And I'm only 6 feet tall.
So he's like Buff, like all upper body and lower body, so I'm disgusting to look at.
Oh god. Well, there's that story about Buff Bagwell in the early 90s when he was teaming with Too Cold Scorpio, and that Buff was so insecure about his legs that he had calf implants.
Yeah.
And they fucking busted one of them open in a match because it turns out that calf implants aren't meant to be, physically abused in something like, say, a wrestling match.
Yeah. Dude, here's a tip. Do some fucking leg workouts.
Steroids will help your legs if you just let them.
You don't have to just do your entire upper body. Take a day for legs.
Oh, and also, try to get better at wrestling. That could help you too.
Given Buff did have a cool finisher. I like the I don't know if he's the one who created it. I doubt it.
First guy I've ever seen to do the blockbuster.
Okay, well then, as far as we know, the earliest person to do it. I like that move.
Yeah. And I'm glad the Hurricane stole it.
Yup. Anything's better than the Eye of the Hurricane. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know Big Show started using it for a while. I'll call it the,
Final Cut.
The Final Cut. There we go. At least with Big Show, that's a big dude landing on you.
Well, back in WCW when it was called Nightmare on Helm Street.
It was just a move, wasn't it?
No, it was his finisher until he came up with a Vertebraker.
And then you should always use the Vertebraker.
Yes. In fact, that should be the cheat code on the video games. Use Vertebraker to win.
Yes.
But, another move created by a Japanese female wrestler.
Nice.
Dude, around 91 to about 99, the whole the 90s, the Joshis as they get called over in Japan, they were fucking amazing, and they created so many moves that guys take credit for. And they also did moves that no man is stupid enough to do. I'm just yeah, she's a badass, a fucking moonsaulting double stomp. Are you insane?
Yeah, that's gonna break somebody's fucking ribs.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for your uterus. Hope you didn't want kids.
I just do a foot stomp.
Yeah.
I don't know why I ever started going Double Fist Town.
That was a Castle Crashers thing. It just
I know,
stuck.
but I don't know.
It just
I don't
stuck.
know. It's like, I don't know what possessed me to do it, just cause Double Fist Town.
Double Fist Town! No pants!
So, yeah, overall, WWE, you know, a decent pay-per-view and a decent week. Just, it's a typical week after a pay-per-view. A lot of recaps and rematches.
Let's just, like, I'm gonna end it, I'm gonna sum it up on a positive note. I am interested. What happens next? Okay, that is something, and I'm genuinely interested. I'm not just going, oh, well, I'm interested. I'm genuinely interested. I am actually worried about missing it.
Okay. I gotta say,
that's something
I'm
that
intrigued.
needs to be said.
You know, hopefully we'll keep believing for a while, you know, maybe they'll do some...
Stop believing!
Yeah, just
I
get
don't know the lyrics to that crappy 80s song!
Just get fucking Journey to do their song again, just change believe to believe. They are desperate enough for money, I'm sure.
Yeah, what have they been doing lately?
I'm sure you give Journey $50 and a ham sandwich, they'll be happy.
You might have to give it 2 ham sandwiches if they want Randy Jackson to play bass for him again.
Okay, so 2 ham sandwiches. So, yeah, on that note, we're gonna keep watching, and hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah.
So, as Sergeant, you know, presses his 1, 2, 3 like Scott Steiner, we bid you all farewell, and, see you next week. Hopefully we'll have more to talk about, because more will happen.
Sergeant Slaughter is a freak!
He'd make you humble!
This man has taught me to make you humble!
He has taught me the ways of the 10-inch cock.
Oh.
Good night, everybody!
Oh my.